So we already discussed about the mechanism about the web and how we can make a web, and then some basic of HTML. Okay. So uh, oh, I think this is done. We are going to detail. We're going to more details about the HTML, which is about the body section. Okay. What is or what are the elements that we can use in the body section? And we are going to make tables, and then how can we deal with forms, and how we can understand about the frame. So all of this stuff are related with HTML4. Maybe after the mid exam, we will learn about the JavaScript, and I will try to explain a little bit about HTML5, which is the current version. So this is the very basic one about the web. As you might know, we already learned how to create the HTML in the head section. Now we are entering the body. In the body section, it describes the viewable portion of the page. So when you are dealing with the web page, most of them are in the body section. And the body section starts after head section. Last week, we learned about the head section. And because it is the HTML tag, it begins with the body and ends with the slash body. You already know we start with HTML and then ends with slash HTML. And then we have the head to indicate what is the title page, or maybe you have some kind of meta information. So how long your page will last, and then if you have more than 5 seconds, you can go to another web page and etc. And we are going to learn more how can we define body. So the text formatting, if you understand the paragraph, last week we learned how to write something in the web, and we use P to indicate the paragraph. Or we use like introduction, we have the P to indicate the paragraph. Basically, the P is the normal text, but you can modify the text with some kind of format like bold. Bold is using B, like this one, or italize using I. Underline. Underline means you have this underline using U. And superscript, and use the SUP. Or subscript, you use SUB. And then strong. Strong actually is similar with bold. So you can use strong or bold. And then emphasize. Emphasize, EM, it is similar with the italic. Pre-formatted text. So this pre-formatted text, it is like similar to the P, okay, but we have some predefined about the text. And quoted text block. So if you have some kind of quote, or you want to put the sentences into kind of importance for your web page, then you can use in the block quote. Del means the text is a kind of deleted text, but you still want to show it into the web. For example, you want to make a correction, and then you want people know that it is a correction. So the result will be something like this, strike through. So there's kind of line in the font. So let's see. This is one example about the text formatting. So I'm going to use the Notepad++ to make this HTML file because it is not that complicated to build this file. Yeah, let me make text formatting .html. So let's see. Okay. What you can see here, we have head, and it indicates the page title like this one. Oh, sorry. This one. Okay, the page title. So the page title is here. And then we enter the body. When we enter the body, we have notice. So the notice is in the big font. It is bigger than the other font because we use H1. So H1 here, if you are familiar with Markdown in the Jupyter Notebook, we use the H1 to indicate this is a header. So the header, yeah, I think last week we also learned we have like header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4, header 5, header 6. It can distinguish the font size. So if it is H1, yeah, this is the biggest one. If you change to H3, for example, yeah, it becomes smaller. So it depends on your definition about the header. P is a paragraph, and inside of this paragraph, I have one emphasize. I can put this kind of format in the middle of your sentence. If you check this one, yeah, this is a sample. The sample is indicated with EM. And you know, in the HTML tag, we have to put the beginning and ending. Next paragraph, we have P and then pre. Okay. So this pre is the pre-formatted. Okay. So the next paragraph, pre-formatted, yeah, there is no such difference. It is pre-formatted because it is under the same font. If you have different style, yeah, if you use the CSS, you can see some difference here. H2. So as I mentioned to you, it is related to the header. Okay. So H1 is the biggest one. H2 smaller than H1, but still bigger than H3. We can also specify some sentence and then we put BR. So BR is another format to do the break line. So this is break. It means after we break, we will go to the next line. Sometimes we call it, this is a break line. And at the end, we have body, and then we have the HTML. Okay. We already learned some kind of hyperlink in the previous lecture. The A indicates a hyperlink. when you write the A, you need to write what is the hyperlink reference. We call it href. Now, I would like to create three kind of files. Okay, I would like to create a parent.html, and then I'm going to create form.html, and I'm going to create child.html. So here is the example of the parent.html. Okay, let me create this one. I would like to make a new file, and then this file is, yeah, you can just copy and paste this one. At this moment, I will make this as simple as possible. Actually, when you are creating the HTML, yeah, you need to put the HTML, and then at the end, you need to have this HTML to indicate that this is the HTML file. Yes. But just to make it simple, let me just skip some of these formal things at this moment. Yeah, I want to show you how the hyperlink works. So here I would like to save. Let's say I'm saving with the name parent.html. So there are two kind of hyperlink reference. The first reference is form.html, and the second reference is child.html. But you can see here inside. What does it mean by this inside? If you take a look on this, okay, first let's make form.html and create form.html on the same server. Or you can say, yeah, you want to make this HTML in the same folder. So you have this form1, and then I would like to save it with the name form.html. Okay, after we have this form.html, let's make create a folder inside and create child.html. So let me make a new folder. Okay. So in this case, this is 01 lagi, yeah, for foreign students. If you do not understand the Korean, this is to create a new folder. So you can make a new folder, and then for this new folder, let's make the name as inside. And in this inside folder, I would like to create another file. Okay, I would like to create another file, and the file name will be child.html. Okay, the file name will be child.html, and the content of the child.html is this one. Okay, so we have P paragraph of a word, which is child, and then I have a reference to one of the folder, and yeah, you can see what is it. So let me just save this, and then let me put this file into the folder inside. So I'm saving this file in the folder inside, and the file name will be child.html. Okay, so we have several files that we want to access, but it should have one parent. Okay, so I have this parent. Now let me double click parent.html. when you have the parent.html, you can see there are two links. Okay, fill our form and then go to child. If you click fill our form, you access the form.html. If I return back, or if I go back to the previous one, so now we are in the form.html. Sorry, we are in the parent.html, but I'm going to access this child. If I click this one, then it goes to the child.html, and the child.html is located at inside folder. When you design your information system, you can define something like this one. When you know where is your HTML files, you can create folders, and then you can access the HTML files based on the relevant folders. Let's say I want to return back to the parent, so I can just click here and it returns back to parent.html. Okay, based on this one, we can see that the hyperlinks works not only for HTTP. Last time we learned from the previous section. So when we learn about this head, we have the this one, there is no a reference. This one is using the URL. So sometimes when we use the URL, you can see that the URL can be placed inside of this hyperlink reference. But not only the hyperlink reference for URL, we can also use HTML file. Okay, this one is also using a, but we are going to access an external website. So the external website means something with HTTP. You want to access, for example, Google. If you use the a href, like what we saw here, we use a, and then we need to close with \a. We use a and we close with \a. Okay. So if we have like this kind of hyperlink, we can determine what is the link URL, and there is one target. So let's see if I put this one. Let me put in the parent. So if I put in the parent, you can see there is one more link, which is Google. So here, always use a full URL, including HTTP, blah, 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 not just www.someonesite.com. Because if you do not put the HTTP, nowadays there are many various hypertext protocol, and for the security issue, there is also HTTPS, or some website they share the file using FTP and etc. That's why if you include this one, it will go to the precise location. The target means we are going to open in one kind of position. Let's say in this case, I would like to open in the new window. So the new window, I have this parent.html. If I click on the Google, it opens to the new window. Okay. If I use different kind of target, yeah, we have different kind of values, like parent. Yeah, parent, it means we are going to open the link in the parent frame. If we are using self, yeah, we are going to open in the parent frame. And if we are using top, we are going to open in the most top frame. Or if we have a specific frame name, then we can put it into the specific frame name. At this moment, we don't have any frame, so we will learn a little bit about frame, I think, in the almost end of this slide. Yeah, you can check. Maybe this one is working with self. If we put the target itself, if I click this one, then yeah, this site or this tab will go to google.com. So it will not open into the new tab. Sometimes you need to access the link and it goes directly to email. So you can see some kind of customer service, or if you need to get some help from the website owner, then when you click into one of this paragraph, you can directly go to the email. And especially if you are in the if you are using Microsoft, when you click like this, sometimes it goes directly to the Outlook. And then when it goes to Outlook, it will go to your email and you can send email immediately to, for example, the website owner. Yeah, I don't have the Outlook here. Yeah, if you want to connect, then you can use also the href, and then you can define what is the email address. In this case, I would like to mail to box@example.com, and then I give question mark to separate the email address and the subject that I want to write. So here the subject is bug report. And I just put one sentence here, please report bugs here, and then by email only, for example. Hyperlinks can also a part of the section of one web page. If you want to link to another location in the same document, you can specify what is the ID of your section. Giving the ID in the section, you can use just ID. Let's say I give this one, I give the section 1 for the introduction. And then I just put the ID 1, section 1, ID section 1. This is for the introduction. And if you have a lot of lines in between, when I want to go to the introduction, you can just prepare this link. I think I have another example to present this one, but let's see. I have this hyperlink reference, go to introduction, and then I have the H2 IDE section 1 introduction. And if you go to this one, it will go to section 1, but I guess it's not clear. Let me just go, let me enter. Okay, so you can enter So you can have many lines inside here. Okay, I guess I need to put a lot of PR here. Just one example. Oh, okay. I need more. Okay, I cannot see this. So you can see now I'm in the upper side of the web, and then I want to go to the introduction. So if I click this one, then it moved. So now the introduction is shown, even though it is in the bottom of the page. But I can see that this is the section about introduction. Let's say the introduction here, I would like to say this is the introduction of HTML. Welcome to the class. So let's say if I have this one, if I start with the parent.html again. Now if I click go to introduction, you can go to introduction section in the below bar. You can also define the section based on the HTML file name. In the previous one, we learned how to access parent.html, child.html, form.html. So if I have section in other file, then you can just specify what is the file name and then find the section name of that file. You need to put the separator, which is shop. Okay? So if it is related with the section, you need to put shop. Okay, this one is a kind of table of contents. So let's see, can we do it this one? Link document, what I put here? Link to the same document. Oh, sorry. I need to save in XML file. I think there are some issues later because it is not in the separate line. So if I put like this one, for example, this one is only in one page. So if I click on the project history, then you can see that it goes up. So I can go to the section of project history. If I want to go to introduction, it goes to the introduction section and the HTML file is slightly moved. If you want to make it bigger like this one, if I go to project history, then it goes to project history section immediately. That's the importance of using the tag A or the hyperlink reference. So we can use for the HTML file, we can use to link into the same document, and we can use to the external website. Images. This is one of the basic tag in HTML. We can include image. So let's suppose I have any image. Okay? Yeah, I would like to get this one. Image.source image, and I want to put the image logo something here, and I'm going to put the image in the folder img. So here is the folder name. For easy access, I guess you can just leave the source as like this one without the folder. So I want to put this as an access logo. And because I don't have any figure, let me just download any logo from the internet. Let's say I'm just getting any logo from the internet, logo.png. So what is the proper logo here? I don't know, maybe this one. Okay, let me save this one. Image Daran Iromro. Okay, let me just put the logo.png. And if I run the access logo file, you can see now we can see the logo in the HTML file. Here is executing the access logo.html, and in the access logo.html we have the image and we have the information where is the source. And now I just want to get the source logo.png, and I'm going to show it into my web. In the image, there are some attributes. src, it is the location of the image file. You can have relative or absolute. So the relative means if your file, the HTML file, is in the same folder, then you can just put the relative path, but you can also put the absolute path. So if you have your files in the specific folder, let's say C, drive, yeah, users, or blah, 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 okay. So you can specify like this as well. ALT. ALT means the alternative, or it is the substitute text for display. If the computer or if the web cannot find the image, it will show the substitute text for display. That's it. I'm having this one, ALT. Maybe I will show you like company logo. Okay. Let's say I'm putting the word logos.png. So is there any logos.png in my computer? I don't have any file of this one. So if I run this, then whatever. Of course, I cannot see any image because there is no image with the name logos.png. In that case, we need to inform the user, we need to inform the reader that actually this is the company logo. So this is the substitute text. We can inform the user that when you cannot access this page, when you cannot access the image, actually the image is related to this logo. So this can be any text to explain what is your image. You can define your head. You can define the head of the image. You can define the width of the image, and also you can define whether the image should have border or not. So the head, width, yeah, it is the pixel. In the pixel size, it depends on your monitor size. Yes. So other things related with the formatting, you can use HR. So HR means horizontal line or horizontal rule. Rule means ruler. And yeah, you can define the size and you can define the width. Let's say I have this HR and then size 5. So you can have the line like this one. So this is the 5 size, and then the width is 70%. So it means it does not cover all the monitor. So if you want to make it like 90%, yeah, so it's longer. So it depends about how many how many length you want to show in your web page. So there are many things actually you can use. Yeah, center. Center is you can put this word in the center, and then yeah, font. You can define the size of the font. So some of this text has been deprecated. So deprecated means it has been deleted. It has been removed from the HTML because they already have more advanced approach for placing the word in the center. They have more styles issues with the font, so they do not use font, but they use the CSS. Okay. So that's why this kind of things. There are some of the web's comments are replaced or removed. Okay, I have this one. Let's see. If I put this into yeah, you can still see the result, but the idea about making the font bigger or making the text in the center has been replaced with another kind of format. And when you are making the list, it is not list like what you learn in the data structure, but it is another kind of list which is about how many items that you want to show with a particular symbol. So if we have the order list, it means we have the elements. Let's say this one, apple, orange, grapefruit. I want to show it in the web with this kind of list, and I want to show it in the order. In the order means I want to show what is the number 1, what is number 2, what is number 3, and so on. We call it, this is OL, or this is order list. And LI is the element. Now we have the OL type 1, and then the first element is apple, and the second element is orange, the third element is grapefruit. Every element will start with LI, And because this is an order list, I can specify with OL. So in this order list, there are special types, like 1. What does it mean by 1? Yeah, we can have 1 to 3. If we have A, pick A, we start with A, B, C letter. If we use the small a, we start with small ABC. If we have I, we use the Roman number. So the I, if one I is number 1, with 2 I is number 2, the 3 I means number 3. Or with small I, okay, we have the order with the small I like this one. Let's suppose I use this one. Order this. You can see number 1 apple, number 2 orange, number 3 grapefruit. If I change this type to pick A, then yeah, it changes to A, B, C. If you change the type into I, then yeah, the order will be replaced with the Roman character. In addition to the order list, we have unordered list. So the unordered list means I will show all the items, I will show all the elements regardless the order. I don't care about the order. So it is unordered. That's why it is represented with UL. So the unordered list will have a special symbol. You can define with this is this one, or you can specify with circle like this one, or you can specify with square. So let's see. If I make another file, if I make another file, this one is unordered list. So let me open the unordered list. Now we are using this, okay, because the type is this. You can change to circle. And you can also change to square. So it depends on the what you want to show in the text. Okay. We can make a definition list. Okay. So this definition list, if you write something in your HTML file and you want to explain the keywords, let's say here I have DL to indicate the definition list, and in this DL, this is the starting of DL and this is the ending of DL, and we have the DT and DD. So the DT means text and the DD means the definition. So if you have the text HTML, I want to explain about the HTML is a markup language which is available for the web programming. So that will be the definition. I have another text, CSS. So I would like to define what is CSS. Yeah, this is the description or this is the definition. A CSS is a language used to make the style in the web page or in the home page. And usually it is renders without bullet. The bullet is the unordered list. And then the definition, it is indented. Indented means here you can have some space before the after the left of your monitor there is some space. Oops, oh, I have this one. Okay, let me check this. Okay, I will copy and this, and let me make list.html. So this is the order list, this is unordered list, and then this is the definition list. Definition list. Okay, let me check this one. So you can see now we have one definition of HTML. So HTML is the text, and this is the definition of the HTML. Okay. There are some special characters if you want to write some copyright sign or trademark sign. Okay, you cannot directly upload the symbol, but you need to use some kind of entity. Okay, maybe I will stop here because of the time limitation. I will explain this tomorrow.